What's happening, everybody? Jason here. We are going to be making a cornhole board game set. My wife made me make these because we had some family over the other night, and they brought theirs, and we had a blast, so she told me, you have to make us some of these. I know I could have just bought them, but this is a lot more fun, and I wanted to make these look really, really cool. These are going to be slick, and they're going to have LED lights, they're going to have handles on the side. But first thing I did was go to Home Depot. I got a 4x8 sheet of plywood, 3/4 inch thick, fairly nice finished piece. Home Depot cut it in quarters for me, so that way I got 4 pieces that are 2 feet by 4 feet. Because I think your regulation game of cornhole is 2 feet by 2 feet by 4 foot board. I think you can also do 2 feet by 3 feet. I wanted to do 2 by 4. I think it would be a little bit easier when kids play. They have more space to throw the bags on. The piece of wood on the bottom is a 3/4 by 6 foot piece of pine. I believe it was like 3.5 inches wide. I ended up buying 2 of these. I used these for the feet. So all in all, the plywood cost me about $60. Those 2 pieces of wood cost me about $20. So tax, I think it's about $80-$90 for just the wood. Also got a brand new Ryobi orbital sander, some sanding grit or sanding discs for it. I also got a Craig pocket tool jig, and that is going to make this set of boards look really, really slick. With you can't see any screws, and I'll show you what this jig is coming up. So that's pretty much what I started out with. What you see in this picture, let's get right into it. I have to apologize right off the bat. I accidentally filmed this video in 24 frames per second cinema. So hopefully this video looks okay. Most of it's in fast motion, so you shouldn't notice it. It should have been in 30 frames per second. But here I am just taking a bunch of measurements. This is a 2 foot by 4 foot board, and I'm measuring to get the hole, the exact center of the hole, and then use a compass to draw around it. You got to have a 6-inch hole on the top of your board, and I believe the center of the hole is 9 inches down from the top. So I just kind of made myself a little compass there, and then I'm going to drill a hole through there and use my jigsaw to cut out that circle. Now I'm using my brand new orbital sander. I'm rounding the edges of the board. Again, wanted to make this look really nice and smooth and slick, so I'm rounding them out, sanding the top there a little bit, and then I'm taking my little edge router, and then I'm going to round all the edges all the way around, top and bottom, and also the hole. I will be using the edge router around that hole also. Make this nice and smooth and look pretty slick. As you can see, the ugly side is underneath. Make sure when you get a piece of plywood, definitely remember what side you're going to use. You can see that side right there is pretty ugly. That will be underneath. There's the nice side. So all the edges on this board are rounded, and I won't be showing me make both boards. I'm just going to show me making one board. That's really all you need. Here I am using that long piece of pine as a straight edge jig to cut some more pieces of plywood. This is going to be these pieces are going to be the brace that goes around the rectangle brace underneath that flat board. And there is the Craig pocket jig. And what that is basically it allows you to drill a hole diagonally through that wood, and allows you to screw a screw in diagonally. So you're basically not going to see any screws. It's really, really cool. It's only $20. You get the jig, you get the drill bit, and you get this also like 6-inch long. It's a bit that screws in square-headed drill bits. And basically, the inside of the frame, I'm going to be just spending a lot of time with that jig right there and screwing a hole or drilling out a whole bunch of holes, prefab all those holes, so I can just screw it all together, and it makes a nice clean look from the outside. All this will be on the inside underneath of the cornhole board. There you can see screwing it together right there, how all of those screw holes are on the inside of the frame, and on the outside you see nothing, no screws, nothing poking out. It's really nice. I don't know why I didn't buy one of those sooner. All right, there is the frame all done, all screwed together, all 4 pieces, and on basically what I'm doing, going around it with the edge router, and that will be the bottom part of that frame. The other side of that will be the part screwed underneath the board. So there I am right now, and I'm just placing it on top, and I'm just measuring all the sides, putting a couple of clamps to get it in the perfect spot, and then I will be screwing in all the screws into those nice diagonal holes through the frame into the board. Okay, now that long piece of pine, I'm going to be using this piece to make the legs of the boards. And what I'm doing here is just measuring, again, a center right here. So these legs, I'm going to jigsaw around and make a nice, one edge will be completely rounded. And here I'm just drilling out the center of that rounded area. That will be where the bolt goes through as the hinge or the pivot. And just use that jigsaw and round those legs over. And then I'm going to take it to my sander right here, the 1x30, and we're just going to really smooth that out. And there's the hole where the bolt's going to go through. And I also need to drill holes into the top part of the board underneath, as you will see here in a second. Okay, and here is the whole point of all that. As you can see, I'm putting the bolt. Sorry I didn't show myself drill a hole through the board part, but that allows the legs to swivel, close, and open. However, the legs are not done yet. I still need to cut the legs to size, and I will show you how I did that here in a second. And here I'm just putting some spacers in the back so the legs don't fall, they don't angle back too far. That first part, they went back a little bit too far, so I'm just putting in some spacers here to lessen the angle. Now here I got a basketball holding that up. The back of the cornhole board is only supposed to be 12 inches off the ground. So if you do it like this, and then you use a straight edge and you can draw a line, it's really easy to get that 12-inch height almost exact. And I had to use my grinder, my cutoff wheel, to cut the bolts down. They were sticking out a little bit too far. And there's the legs cut down a little bit. And honestly, you could leave it like that, but I'm going to put a brace between both of those legs. So you can basically pull the entire leg system out all at once, and it'll make it a lot sturdy. As you can see right here, that's the brace. And I'm going to use that little pocket jig right there. Make some of those diagonal holes, and that's how I'm going to screw it onto the legs. And there you go. It's pretty much done right there. Now, from here on out, there's a whole lot that you can do with these. I will end up putting on some side handles so you can carry it, and putting on some LED lights. I don't know if I'm going to stain them or or paint them or what. But right now, you know, they work perfect, flawless. There's a lot of it's a lot of measuring, going back and forth, but these work really, really, really good. Very sturdy. They look really nice, and really happy the way these turned out. All right, there you can see I put the handles on the side. I might end up adding a center brace in there another time. And then we're going to flip this over all the way, and you can see the lighting system. I will show it on here in a second. I got this off of Amazon. There's the battery pack and the wires. They actually have an LED set specifically for these boards that you got to install it yourself. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but if you got two people, it's really easy. It almost looks like fiber optic, but it's just LEDs that you can run all the way around. And I will show you exactly which ones I bought here. This is what I got off of Amazon, Way Believe. There's a bunch of the different ones on there. They all seem to have pretty good reviews. And here they are with the LED lights. I think this looks pretty badass. I'm not sure if I'm going to stain these or paint them or what, but thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helps you out if you're looking to make some of your own. And you guys take care out there. Have a good one.